Hazor, and the house of Heber, the Canaanite.
How to pronounce Kenite.
Kenite. Verse 18 and come on, phone. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Turn aside, my lord, turn aside to me, do not fear." And when he had turned aside with her into the tent, she covered him with a blanket. Verse 19, then he said to her, "Please give me a little water to drink, for I am thirsty." So the open a jug of milk, give him a drink, and covered him. Verse 20. Really? Verse 20. And he said to her, "Stand at the door of the tent, and if any man comes and inquires of you and says, 'Is there any man here?' you shall say no." Verse 21. Then Jael Heber's wives took a tent peg and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly to him, and drove the pig peg into his temple, and it went down into the ground, for he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. Verse 22, and then as why do cats keep drinking out of that water? There's water. Oh my goodness. Barak. Pursued Sisera. Jael came out to meet him and said to him, "Come, I will show you the man whom you seek." And when he went into her tent, there lay Sisera dead with a pig in his temple. Verse 23. So on that day, God subdued
How to pronounce Jabin.
Jabin, king of Canaanite, in the presence of the children of Israel. Verse 24. And the hand of the children of Israel grows stronger and stronger against.
How to pronounce Jabin.
Jabin, king of Canaanite, until they had destroyed.
How to pronounce Jabin.
Jabin, king of Canaanite.
With a rare genetic disease, I rely on Medicaid. I've spent 800 nights in the hospital and take 20 plus medications. But Rob Bresnahan voted to cut Medicaid after he sold stock in Medicaid providers. He does not care about his sick constituents.
SpeechModification.com presents how to pronounce
Kaidin?
Canaan.
No, Canaan. Canaan. Well, almost. Okay, now I'm doing Judges chapter 1. Wait. There you go. To verse 19. So the Lord was with Judah, and they drove out the mountaineers. Mountaineers, but they could not drove out the inhabitants of the lowland because they had chariots of iron. Now I'm doing Psalms chapter 106 to verse 42. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Now I'm doing Joshua chapter 19. To verse 37.
How to pronounce Kedesh.
Kadesh.
Kedesh. How to pronounce Edrei.
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 Hazer.
In Hazard.
ENAJZO.
What the heck? I don't even want to know. Whatever. In Hazer, verse, I'm at Joshua. Now I'm doing Joshua chapter 21 to verse 30.